From the end of the Commonwealth's final formal legislative session of the year. Thanks for joining us on Western Mass News at 10. I'm Matt Satilli. Several hot topic bills remain on the table. Western Mass News reporter Olivia Hickey spoke with state leaders today, and she now joins us live in studio with more. Olivia?
Matt, the clock is ticking, but state leaders tell me that they are continuing until the end to get those bills passed to benefit residents across the state, including here in Western Mass.
It's been a busy year, a busy session, and I'm very proud of the work that we've done.
Sunday is the final day of the formal legislation session in Massachusetts. And although local leaders say a lot has been accomplished, there is still more to do as the time in session dwindles. There are several bills left on the itinerary, including sports betting, mental health, and an economic development bill. Western Mass News spoke to state leaders to find out more about the importance of these bills. Officials in both the House and Senate tell us that the mental health bill will provide much-needed mental health resources across the Commonwealth. State Senator John Vilas adds that the bill would require insurance companies to cover an annual mental health screening.
I just don't see how we don't do that. We've got a mental health crisis in this nation right now. It's a crisis that long predated COVID. Certainly was exacerbated by COVID.
And Representative Jake Oliveira explains it will also help provide the tools needed for mental health treatment.
Growing the pipeline of social workers, clinicians, mental health workers as well, but also tackling that lack of mental health beds out here in Western Massachusetts.
As for sports betting, Representative Orlando Ramos says differences between proposals in the House and Senate are being ironed out, and he hopes a compromise is made. And if passed, he wants to include an amendment which would allow local businesses to have a seat at the table.
That is important for some of the smaller shops. Otherwise, this big industry is going to be monopolized by the casinos and the mobile apps, and the smaller shops are not going to have an opportunity to capitalize from this new industry.
As for the economic development bill, State Senator John Vilas tells Western Mass News he will be watching it with close eyes, as Governor Baker announced a multi-billion-dollar tax rebate last week that could provide widespread relief for taxpayers.
I think that's a really important thing right now. I've said it a million times before. I'm going to continue to say it. We have the tax revenue. People are hurting right now with inflation, the grocery store, the gas pump everywhere.
And leaders say they hope to iron out these differences before the session officially comes to a close. And officials tell me the legislative session could end as early as tonight, but as late as Monday, as they will be working into the late hours of the evening. Western Mass News will continue to follow the session's developments and will bring you the latest information on air and online. Live in studio, Olivia Hickey, Western Mass News.